Going live. Oh, we're live! And hello. I've been around you too long, Jem. Now I was nicking your hello. Hello, everybody. Welcome to my channel. Welcome to this live show, and welcome to the Plodalong, our special episode with my lovely co-host down here, which is nice and easy for me. I'm at Jem of Books, and then I'm going to try and do it in the opposite direction. We've got Nicole. And then I can't do it. In the corner, we've got lovely Charlotte. And I'm so lucky to have Charlotte because Charlotte has been absent.
AWOL.
Yeah, AWOL. We've stolen her. We've got her back. We're very, very lucky. Thank you so much for both of you.
Lovely to be back.
Yes. Thank you so much for joining us, both of you. We're so lucky. So I'm going to try and find your welcome banner if I can. So you can just keep smiling, and then I'll just
keep smiling. Look really awkward and just keep smiling.
We're proper professionals, Nicole. In case you...
try and just not say anything and then just try and Anyway, I'm going to get to the comments and say hello quickly to some of our lovely plodders. I'm going to whiz you through you all. Hey, Ange. Hey, Chris. Hey, Martha. Hey, Essie. And Claire. Zach, what time is it up for you? If you're in the US, it must be, I don't know what time it must be.
Is it even morning?
No, it must be in the middle of the night. I don't know what it is. So yeah, hello everyone. Good morning to you all. So Charlotte and Nicole, how are you? We'll start with Nicole. How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
Well, not this evening for you.
It's this evening. It's 7 p.m. where I am, so a couple of hours ahead of Charlotte. So yeah, I'm good. And thank you for inviting me. I'm a little bit nervous, but anyway, I'm here. No. That's all that matters.
You're safe here with the plodders. This is like a safe space.
Yeah, you won't be nervous for long. You'll be like, oh my goodness, like about 5 minutes.
All good.
What do I let myself in?
I'm excited and nervous at the same time. It's such a weird feeling. So I'm excited to be here because I love talking about the Women's Prize for Fiction, and I get to hang out with you guys as well. So it's awesome.
Oh, we're so lucky.
It's weird because normally I'm just watching you and in hysterics, laying in my bed in the middle of the night, watching in hysterics. But I'm actually here today, so it's awesome.
We're so grateful. We are so grateful. And then also our returnee who has done this before a few times, the lovely Charlotte. So how are you, Charlotte?
I don't know if this is number 2 or number 3, but I'm great.
Thank you. Is it 3?
I think it's number. I want to say it's number 3. Yeah, and then
I do think you've been here every year with us.
Yeah, I think so. Maybe 2 or 3, and then it's as Nicole says, it's 5 o'clock here, so not quite as late. But I was at the beach today, and then yesterday. I don't know if paddle is like a thing in the UK yet, but it's like a big craze here. So I was at a paddle tournament yesterday as well, and that's been a lovely weekend for me. And then, this to kind of cap it off nicely before the next week starts.
Aww.
What is paddle? Like paddle boarding or?
It's like indoor tennis, so except the back wall and sides are glass. So it's kind of like a mixture of squash because you can then take the ball off the glass and return it to the other side again. The court is smaller, so it's a faster game physically. And the racket is different as well. It's more like a pickleball racket, I think, from what other people have told me. But yeah, Wood's a really small town, but we have 5 different paddle clubs. So it's huge.
It's really
yeah. And they're never empty. So yeah, loads of people doing it here.
Oh, that's loads of fun. Oh, that's brilliant. So, how have you guys been finding the Women's Prize? What was your reaction to? You can say to both of this, or if you've only read like one list, you can say what was your reaction to the long lists, both of you. We'll start with Charlotte this time. What was your reaction? I think you've mostly focused on the fiction, I believe, but you can tell us.
Yeah, so I'm more of a fiction person than non-fiction, so I haven't read any of the non-fiction. But the fiction I was really happy with. I was reading so I did my usual nerdy thing where I create a spreadsheet and I go, oh, okay, right, I've DNF'd that one already last year, so okay, we can do that. And then I was going, okay, right, Goodreads, right, this is about X, Y, and Z, great, it's probably for me, and it's probably not for me. And then create like the table there, and then I start with my sampling, as I've done videos on before. I kind of sample
love those videos. They're like my history
for myself this year, and And so that's how I picked out which ones I want to do first, sort of thing. We have construction going on, by the way, so this is a construction worker walking past. This
As
construction
long as we don't see anything obscene in the
a
background.
random man in a hoodie going past. He actually is me. So I did my sampling, and then I started getting through them. So The Artist by Lucy Steeds really stuck out to me as a historical fiction piece, so I started with that first, and I was just really excited about it. Really,
That's really good.
We'll talk more about the
overall positive.
Yeah, we'll talk about more of the individual books
Yeah.
later. But I was really excited to get going with it.
Oh, cool. That's brilliant. And how about you, Nicole? How was your reactions? And I know Nicole, for those people watching, has literally done reviews on every single book on her channel. So I will link obviously that in the description.
Absolute legend.
I'm one of those crazy people that made a deal and was stupid enough to say it out loud to the internet that I wouldn't DNF anything. Anyway, so I have done this for the last 3 years, where I've read the entire long list and not DNF'd any of them, so I could expose warts and all, let's just say, for the books and whatnot. But yeah, no, overall, I thought it was a really good list. There was a lot of debut novels, which always excites me. I like coming across new authors and stuff like that. But as time went on, it was starting to lose its shine, and I'd only read one of them. So yeah, I'd only read one when it was long listed, and but we'll talk a little bit more about the shiny bits that that disappeared.
Okay, I'll just quickly touch on some of the comments again. Zach said it's 3 a.m. there. Oh my gosh, Zach, you're such a hero. Yep, dedication. Zach is one of our superstar plodders. That's the award we have given Zach. Official title. Hi, Jane. And the lovely Jack. I said Zach then. Jack then, because I saw Zach. He was right. Hi, Jack. Another thing. So, yes. Gethin Jones plays paddle tennis. So I know way more about it. Okay, that's cool. And Martha says that The Artist is her favourite so far. Oh, hello as well. The Great Literary that's a bit of a mouthful for me. Great Literary Rabbit. You say that, Jim.
The Great Literary Rabbit Hole.
Literary Rabbit Hole.
Thank you very much. And Jamie's Books says hi as well. It says hi to Nicole. So we'll say hi to you all. Here we go. I'm going to go to the thing. So what have you read so far? Sash, obviously we know that Nicole's read all of the fiction, but you can tell us what you'll get to the non-fiction as well. But yeah, what have you read so far, Sash? What are you planning to get to next? Nicole, we'll start with you, even though
cool. Well, I've read all the fiction ones, but now I'm starting. So my next plan is to move on to the non-fiction, because I feel like this year's non-fiction list is really solid. And everything that I've looked at, I've just I want to read that. And I also watched Louise Savage, Muses. I watched her reaction to the books because I believe she's read the whole. I think I haven't watched her last video. I'm halfway through. And everything she had to say about it was really positive. So I'm like, you know what? I'm not a non-fiction girly either. I do read some, but I wouldn't say it's something that I gravitate towards. But given that these are written by women and I already do the fiction, I figured I may as well just do that. So the plan now is to read the short list between now and the winner being announced, and then I'll continue on with the rest of it until next year's announcement of the long list. So, yeah. And I've only started with Agent Zoe yesterday and love it. It's an absolute solid book. Love it so far.
We love Claire Mully on the plots. Yeah, and so what about you, Charlotte? What have you read so far?
So I've read The Safekeep already from Booker last year. I'd read, I think I DNF'd Crooked Seeds by Karen Jennings at the 50%, 60% mark last year. So quite late into the book, actually, more so than I would normally, just because I loved her previous Booker nominated The Islands. And so I was kind of rooting for her to kind of get more in line with that one. But I did eventually DNF it. And then the three that were new to me, if you like, just from the Women's Prize announcement, and that I got through in March, were The Dream Hotel, A Little Trickery, and The Artist, all of which I loved. A Little Trickery, I probably loved a little bit less. So my first top two would be The Artist and The Dream Hotel, but they were both 5-star. And A Little Trickery, I think, it was enjoyable, but I wasn't saying wow. So yeah, that's kind of where I fell on those.
Quite a cozy book, isn't it? I feel like A Little Trickery is quite. I know you're not. That's not naturally like you're like.
Yeah. And it's like I do like cozy fiction, and so it kind of I enjoyed it, but it's not one that I'm going to go, and praise and be really enthusiastic about. Yeah, I don't know if anyone else has read it, so I don't want to kind of like speak to the plot too much because it's spoilery. So not
it
that.
is spoiler.
Yeah.
If you do go into detail, it's very spoilery.
Yeah,
but I think
so
the audio is really good for that one.
Agreed.
The audio was fantastic for that. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you there.
Yeah, I thought it had such a strong and unique narrative voice, which I hadn't really come across before. So I thought it like ticked the unique box on that front for me. And Tib was such a lovable character, if a little bit too naive, perhaps. So like you, I really enjoyed it, but it wasn't like a 5-star read for me. But it gave me some good vibes. So there was a few things that I thought were a bit too easy towards the end.
I would agree. I feel like the
Yeah.
beginning was stronger in that it was like a wow beginning, and then you have to find out about this girl and what happens to her. But then at the end, it's sort of like, oh, that's convenient. It's like, oh yeah, that's quite convenient.
It does wrap everything up in a bit of a bow, doesn't
Quite
it?
It does,
unlikely.
yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's just like...
I love that. Like for me, I love everything being wrapped in a bow. So for me, I was like, yeah, that's fine.
There is something comforting in that. Like as you were saying, it's a cozy read, so it really does match the book because it's tying everything up in a bow, and there's something comforting in that. So
yeah. So I think it's for particular readers and not for others, sort of thing. But I feel like I sort of I'm bridging both at the moment. So I'm quite happy with twee and cozy and whatnot. I'm quite happy with that. So
yeah, twee is the word. Twee is the word for that book.
I don't know. I love it. So like, I don't know.
I really liked it, but yeah.
I do know what you mean though. What were your standouts, Nicole?
For me, I think it's Nisaba Yunus. Fundamentally, that was. I felt like as I was reading that book, and I think I actually said it in my vlog if anybody's seen it. I felt like that this was someone that had experienced some of this before, and then when you go and look at her CV, it's absolutely phenomenal, and you can see why she's chose to write in that way with the dark humor and everything like that. But I'd really like to see a non-fiction book from her about her life as as peacekeeping and working with the UN and all that sort of stuff as well, and the different governments that she's worked with in the Middle East and whatnot. That one was my standout one. Strout was my most hated one.
Yes!
we're going to get there eventually. There we go.
There we go. Not going to go too hard with the Strout.
I'm like, oh my God. I just wanted to lay down and go to sleep. Why did I make it? This was the book that was making me question my life choices.
Yes. Yeah,
I do also think, especially when you're reading the whole, the 16 of the long list, it depends on, like, I'm not saying that this is anything to do with Strout, but like, it's like, depending on the order that you read them, it does have an impact as well as to your enjoyment, I do think. Because if you've had like a 5-star and then the next one's kind of like middling, you would, do you know what I mean? You'd kind of
I did it a bit different this year. I normally sit down and do like you do, Charlotte, go through everything, make my list, how I'm going to read it, what I'm going to read, and all that sort of stuff. This year, I left it up to the fates and put it on a spinning wheel.
Oh wow!
Yes, I saw that.
Spun the wheel.
I'm not sure I can do that.
That's very brave.
There were many moments where I'm like, no, I want to read something else.
Can't you just pretend it didn't happen?
I was honest. I could have went that way with several of them, but I still read them how they spun up, and it was just like, oh no.
Wow.
My brain would not have been happy with that. I'd be like, where's the list? We do well with lists. We love creating lists.
Yeah, I'm the same as you, Charlotte.
What is the real concept?
I'm completely with you.
I don't think I'll be doing it again. Just FYI, everyone. I don't think I'll be using spinner wheel again. It was torturous.
Before we came on air, you were both mentioning the artist. So what were both your thoughts on the artist? I'd love to hear that.
You can go first, Charlotte.
I liked it because for me, I think it was not only the character, but where we were. So French countryside, that really appeals to me. The artist and art is another topic that really appeals to me. And so it just had a lot of things going for it before we even started reading. And then pair that with writing that really was very readable and engaging. I just kind of sped through it. If someone had said to me, "Oh, what do you fancy reading?" it pretty much would have been more or less these markers. And so she really didn't have to do much to kind of for it to be a win. And I've heard some reviews saying, oh, technically it's probably a bit, you can see things coming a mile out, but I'm fine with that. I don't need to have a shock every 5 seconds. And it is you do see there are big reveals that actually you see coming a mile off. But I think that what the book has a lot of Charlotte catnip in it, and so I can forgive some of the stuff that I've seen in reviews that maybe say this isn't quite my cup of tea sort of thing. So that's what I enjoyed. I liked the maybe I just need to stop because I don't want to go into plot, but I was about to say something plotty. I was like, oh no.
How about you, Nicole?
For the same reasons, I like the fact that it was set in the countryside, the fact that we've got this person going there thinking they're doing one thing, another thing happens. And again, there was, some blazing obvious things that were going to happen in it, but it was a good historical fiction, and it was a really good story, and it kept you engaged. And that's what I liked about it. For me, I don't necessarily go into the technical side of things or anything like that. I don't get too analytical. But I just enjoy if someone can pull me into a story and keep me there, and the artist did that. So I really enjoyed that aspect of it.
Yeah, and you are kept there. Like I was going back to it because I wanted to be back in that place. Mm-hmm. So
it's really interesting hearing both your thoughts. I'm about 3/4 of the way through it now, so I've literally been reading some of it this morning. And for me, I feel like Etty is such a better character than Joseph. Like if the whole book was Etty, I think it would be a better book for me because she's really interesting and Joseph is just a bit of a wet lettuce. And I just really love Etty's character and like the discussions around women in art and like women in education, like women getting education in that time, I think is really interesting. But I don't really care about Joseph. Kind of
I guess he's the reason we're there. Like if he hadn't gone into that world, that's such a closed off world. So I think his is more of a serves a purpose type of character rather than like something really fleshed out and maybe. But I tell you which book I was kind of shocked. Not shocked, but when I read The Dream Hotel, I thought, oh, winner maybe,
and then not even to see it wasn't shortlisted.
I was like, oh, okay, clearly my judgment's way off here, not winner.
I thought it was
said that though. I'm sure
I thought it was so rude that it wasn't there.
I was thinking, okay, well that's the one out of the ones that I read that I thought could be the winner here. Very loved it, and then not even a shortlist. So oh well.
Are there any others that you were shocked that weren't shortlisted?
For me, no, but I mean, I haven't read as many as Nicole, so maybe Nicole.
What about you, Nicole?
Dream Hotel and Nesting. Nesting was not. I've forgotten what even the list is now because I've sort of moved on. But I was surprised that Nesting wasn't on there. Dream Hotel. I think these were really solid books. Yeah. And when you've got the I know that Strout's got a body of work and all the rest of it. I agree with that eye roll there, Jem. I feel like with the Strout book that ended up on there was going to be so many people that are starting to come to the Women's Prize, new people that are coming to the Women's Prize, and then you've got this 5th book in a series, and I just think it feels like favoritism. I think that if they want to favour established authors and really well-liked authors and stuff like that, maybe they should think of another prize and have, lifetime achievement prize or something for these
Well, they're
authors. rather
doing that.
than-
They're doing
Yeah,
that
they
this
are.
year.
They are.
Yeah,
They
that's
are
actually
they?
been announced. Isn't
Yeah,
it?
so they're going to
Okay.
have like a lifetime
Can't remember
achievement
what it's
award in
called.
June, I think.
If
Okay.
anyone in the
so
comments
it's
remembers what it's called, tell us what it's called. They literally announced it. Was it this week they announced it?
this week, last week. So
Yeah,
yeah,
it's
so
like-
like
I
you
haven't,
say,
I haven't really been online this week, so
Yeah,
I
I think it's
completely missed it.
I think they're going to. Is it like £100,000? I think they win, or it's a lot of money
Okay.
though, isn't it? I
Yeah.
can't, maybe that's probably. I don't know if that's correct or not, but I don't know. There is a. It's like there is a prize amount, though, isn't there?
Yeah.
I don't know.
They're gonna- yeah.
I
did-
just feel like there was a bit of favoritism with that, and it just wasn't. It wasn't. It's not a book that should be on a shortlist at all.
I think that's a whole other conversation, is it? With them, especially with books, especially books in series. I think that's like. I agree with you. I don't think they should be listed because we've had that with, like. Is it last year we had that sci-fi one that was long listed?
Yeah, was that third in the series or?
Yeah,
something like that.
yeah. That's a whole other conversation. Okay, I'm just going to head to the comments quick and then.
Especially as there was some people saying, oh, there's there's too much historical fiction on this long list. Dream Hotel would have been a perfect one to then put onto the short list. And be like, okay, here's some dystopian sci-fi.
Well, that's exactly right.
And genre fiction never makes the short list, right?
Yeah,
like, genre fiction very rarely makes the long list, so it would have been really nice. I haven't read it yet. I've still got it over there somewhere.
I think you'd really like it.
I think I'm going to really like it too.
Yeah, I've got that one downstairs, so I'm still.
Well, I'm not a sci-fi dystopian girly, and I loved it.
Oh, that's cool. That's good.
Maybe you are a secret sci-fi dystopian.
No, my husband is a sci-fi dystopian, and I call them shoot 'em up in space books. They're pretty boring. So I'm not into sci-fi at all. Sorry,
I actually
for all
think
the sci-fi
sometimes
lovers
the
out there.
genre is. I think sometimes the genre, like sci-fi as the genre, is actually not helpful, because I remember reading Dream Hotel, and then following on, I read another speculative fiction book that I'll talk about a bit later.
Yeah.
And I thought, actually, speculative fiction / dystopian, which is like a little offshoot of sci-fi. I actually really love that. But because it's under sci-fi, it's like, it's just aliens in space. But it's like, oh no, it's like kind of cool future. How are we going to be controlling each other's minds in the future? It's like really weird kind of stuff. So
I can see that, though, because sometimes books like that do tempt me occasionally, but mostly I'm like, that's like way over my personal head. So here we go in the comments. Oh, Nick, the great I don't want to say the name again. The great literally rabbit hole said it's Candy. So hi, Candy. And Agent Zoe, she said that Agent Zoe was a 5-star for her. That's really, really good. And finished the sea book. I'm forgetting what the Wild Sea Can Be by her.
I reckon I'll finish that tomorrow.
Oh, what are your thoughts on that?
I think it's good. I do think it's good. However,
here we go.
I think it simplifies the argument. It's sort of like, all chemicals are bad and they're killing our ocean. And it's like, well, yes, they are. But there is another element to this where we have to think about what happens if we remove those, the impact that that's going to have on other industries and other parts of life. And I feel like that's just ignored a little bit. So
you've got a whole different lens on it, though, haven't you?
I had a similar issue with raising hair, though, and it's just like, all pesticides and farmers and tractors are bad. And it's like, well, no, because actually you do need to eat. Like, people have to eat food. So, you can't just say fucking no tractors, everyone's going to hand hoe. Like, then everyone will starve. Like, the rabbits will be happy, but like everybody will be dead. So, there's a level of argument that
you just want it to be balanced a little bit more.
I don't think is being discussed, is my feel on it.
That's fair enough. So Chris said Agent Zoe was fantastic, and has this Strout dislike train arrived?
Yeah, we're here. Charlotte, what is your opinion on Strout?
Oh yeah, I'm sure because you've read into the book, haven't you?
I've tried a couple of times when she's made it onto lists, but it's never got past the sample for me. So
that's fair enough.
That could be a good byline. Strout never got past the sample.
I don't think so.
I renamed the book. Tell me everything and nothing at all. That's what I renamed it.
Oh.
I know I'm harsh.
Hey, that's fine.
No, I don't think that's harsh.
Do you know what?
I even questioned the judges. What other crap did you read to put on this?
Do you know what I think they've got? It's very
Pause.
different. It depends
That's
on
the
your
crap they
taste, though, doesn't it? And I do think, because I for me, I think that a lot of their taste is very different to my reading taste, but on those judges. But yeah,
I think strout is a bit like coriander, right? Some people, when they eat coriander, think it's really good,
Just
and
wanna
other
eat
people
all
think it
of
tastes
it.
like soap. So
Yeah,
I think strout is like the coriander of the book world.
That's great. So shall we get to the next thing? Shall we say do the care list question, which is an underrated book a book that you recommend by a woman? This is, So shall we start with I don't know.
Charlotte, you can go first.
Yeah,
Charlotte.
Yeah, Charlotte.
Right. Well, I'm prepared. So this is what it's on a Kindle. This is Casual by Koji Day. Yeah, I hope that's good enough. So this is
Good enough, and I'll be putting it on the
this is
Instagram.
the speculative fiction / sci-fi / loved it that I read after Dream Hotel, and I thought, okay, this is the start of my new speculative fiction journey, and it was great. This is comparable to things like Atwood's Handmaid's Tale, in that it's about bodily autonomy, reproductive rights, the ethics of, I guess, human tech and humanity, like putting chips in people's brains to control things like stress and anxiety or whatever, but like in the future, and then what happens when you get pregnant and then you've got a chip in your head and you're pregnant. So do you take it out? But it's how are you going to be part of the world and manage your social anxiety? Because so this woman has this chip in her head that does this for her. She gets pregnant, and then the doctors say, so when the baby's born, do you want to be part of this new cutting edge technology that actually puts a similar chip inside your baby's head? And because she's had this implant since she was maybe 20, and so they're saying, right, so from birth, do you want to be part of this new project? And so it's really gripping stuff. I found the Dream Hotel gripping and just couldn't get through it fast enough, and this also the same. It's excellently written. I don't think this author is known at all, really. She has this and I think one other book, but
who's it by again? Sorry, just so I can write it down.
Koji Day. I'm not sure if it's on there.
I'll let you message me later. It's fine. Okay, yeah. Okay.
She has like one other, and the Goodreads reviews are like less than 50. So she's like off the radar sort of thing.
Love how you.
And I just thought it was great. I was definitely my 5-star for March, like top book for March. So yeah, highly recommend. Yeah.
Oh wow! Thank you so much. That sounds amazing.
It's $3.99 on Kindle. I've just purchased it.
Oh my god!
A very gem book, to be fair.
That
was fast, Jem. That was literally fast.
Excellent. There we go.
Yeah.
That's the power of Charlotte Molloy.
I'll contact her and we'll have some sort of sponsorship program. I was like, buying more of her books.
You're only back on BookTube 5 minutes and you're already getting Jem to buy books straight away.
That's funny. Okay, that's good.
No pressure.
That's a good job you're not pasted at the moment, Charlotte. Otherwise, I'd be broke.
Yeah, saving her money.
Yeah. I was saying before we went live that I'd probably read 4 books total for November, December, January, and February, and then I read 10 books in March. So I'm really back on my reading kick. So I actually have enough books to film a wrap up, like a substantial sized wrap up now, whereas I didn't before.
Are you coming back then, Charlotte?
Well, I have said that many times. I've got like videos planned and then never film them. So I'm like, I don't really feel like filming. But maybe after this, like, give me a push to get my March wrap
up. Everyone in the comments, like, we want Charlotte back on BookTube.
Peer pressure, guys. Peer pressure.
Yeah, nothing like a bit of gentle peer pressure.
Exactly. Especially with that background, that's awesome. Like, we can all escape to your neck of the woods for a little while.
You've done videos on the beach as well, haven't you? You've got loads of videos on your channel.
I put a lot more effort into my backdrops at the start of YouTube, where I was like, okay, where am I going to film today? Which would be great. Rock up there at 7 a.m. in the morning with my tripod, trying to get it to balance sort of thing. And now it's just like, I'll just turn the camera on, it's fine. It's just a blank wall, it's fine.
So, Nicole, what's your book recommendation? Lovely.
I'm hoping I'm saying this right, but it's a non-fiction book. It's a memoir that I read about 3 or 4 years ago. It came out in 2014. It's called I Am Basha Posh, My Life as a Woman Living as a Man in Afghanistan. And basically there is a lifestyle that girls can actually live if the family doesn't have a son or anything like that.
Yeah,
so they dress as a boy and up until puberty, but then religion dictates that they go back to, getting married and all that sort of stuff. And this is her story about that and how she rebelled against it and what she went through and all that sort of stuff. It's a very short book. It's only 168 pages, I think, or 178. But it's just a really interesting story. I had no idea that's what that
really
there was.
good.
Yeah, like it was very, very interesting. Opened up my eyes to, how things are done and how they have all this freedom and then it's sort of taken away from them again. And because it comes down to if they don't have a son to go out and help with work or anything like that to help feed the family and all that sort of stuff, and that's where it stems from. So yeah, it's beautiful cover, absolutely beautiful cover.
Oh, that's
It's very
amazing.
interesting. Yeah.
That sounds really good. That's really cool. Right, I'm going to head to some of the comments. I know there are loads of comments, so I won't necessarily be able to get to all of you, but I'll try to whistle through them. We've got my next one is Tell Me Everything, which might have to start this week. Anne said she's started Fundamentally yesterday and loving the and Fundamentally is Jamie's favourite too. Brian said hello. Hi, Brian.
Morning, Brian.
Hi, Jane, as well. You might have said hello before, but hi. And I'm going to do some hearts because I love Jane. I love everybody, but Jane always gets hearts. Then I was sad. Wild Thing didn't make the shortlist. Ooh. I'm
Interesting.
loving it though because I haven't heard
about that one.
Sorry?
I forgot about that one.
Yeah, that was it's about the life of Paul Gauguin, so the artist, I think.
Oh, it's on non-fiction.
Yeah, the non-fiction list, yeah. I like the problem for me is like my library doesn't have it and it's very, very expensive to buy the copy of it, so like it's not like I feel like if my library did get it, I may request it. I will hopefully be able to get it.
Is there a reason that non-fiction typically is more expensive than fiction?
I don't know. I do not know.
All books are expensive here in Australia, so I can't even weigh in on that. Even our Kindle books are like $15.99. Yeah, I think there was several that were about $19.99. There was a couple that were $15. Like it swung between. I think the cheapest one was $12.
Wow,
Yes.
that's mad. Do you not get like deals, the Kindle deals?
Not very often, no. Or I just miss them all the time. Not on any sort of like new releases and stuff like that. They very rarely have them. So yeah.
Oh, that's awful. Because sometimes, because obviously here they that some of the new releases they when it's like that's how they promo them, isn't it? They kind of like put them in the lovely.
Your dollars are like double pounds, right? So your $15 is our £7.50.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. Yeah, it's around about that, give or take. It just depends what's happening with the US dollar as well. So
who knows on that front right now, right?
That's why I said, like I guess like, that's just like you can't even make an educated guess anymore on that.
No, who knows?
Yeah, fair enough. Hi, Vanessa. Claire said, I'm still gutted nesting isn't on the shortlist. I've read 4 of the shortlist, won't read Strout, got the Persians. Save Keep All Fours would be my pick to win. Yeah, I think All Fours.
I'd love to hear Nicole's opinion on All Fours.
Oh yeah, tell us your opinion on All Fours.
That was I don't want to swear, but God, that was a train wreck. To be honest, like I think what the author, like I've never read anything from Miranda July before, so it was my first soiree into her book. I don't think it was the right book for me to go into for the first time, and considering that she's writing this from a menopausal standpoint, I think what she was trying to do is how ludicrous this book is and how much of a train wreck it is. She's trying to, in some way, impart that time of a woman's life is chaotic and it is over the top and it's the most stupidest time of life. Like, you could be sitting there 1 minute cracking up laughing, cackling like a witch, and next minute you're in the corner twitching and crying like a newborn baby. So I think that's what she was trying to get out, but it just didn't hit. For me, it didn't anyway. I just like, I'm reading it and I'm like, I don't know if I want to continue, but I'll keep going and see if it gets any better. The second half got a bit better, like it calmed down somewhat. It wasn't as ludicrous as the first part of the book. But yeah, it wasn't. It probably will win, but it's not my favourite. Yeah,
got to win. Like,
really?
Yeah, it's going to win because two of the judges are like massive fans. They're like big fans.
And 2 is enough to get the book to win.
Yeah.
So this woman who's menopausal goes on a road trip through the US, and then
but only goes 30 minutes from home. Okay, then drops 20 large on a hotel room to renovate it. Yeah, and then it just goes sideways from there. There's lots of like I was quite surprised how much smut. Well, it's not really smut, but you know how much.
So she's just having a good time. Fluids. What is she married?
Yeah, bodily fluids. The whole like I don't know. There's a sprint where I was trying to explain this to my mate Coda, and I'd read the part in the bathroom where she cupped her hands. I'm like, who does that? And then there's a whole tampon scene, and I'm like, ew. This is like, and I read some crappy stuff, okay? I read some far out stuff, and this was like, no, ma'am, no, I don't think so. This is not good.
In there, I felt like it was in there for shock effect. Like, it didn't actually add anything really to the narrative. No,
it didn't. It was just there for shock value. That was it. You're 100% right on that. It was just like, why is this even in here? The other stuff you can sort of understand, you know, her feel like the whole feeling like she's invisible, that she's losing part of her life, that there was the urgency to fulfill those needs, all that. You can get all that, but that whole scene, that whole bathroom scene, didn't need to be there at all. Didn't add anything.
You haven't tried it then, Charlotte?
No. Maybe I'll take it up again. If I'm going through the menopause and having a rough ride of it, I might pick it back up again.
I
wouldn't. Now we're going to go on to Gem's favourite segment of the show. It's crispy time.
Da, 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 da. So this is where we're going to ask our guests to suggest a flavour of crisps that should exist but doesn't. So
everyone in the comments, get ready for your Gem reaction faces.
So yes, I'm keen to know, Charlotte. You look like you've got some hideous ideas.
Don't say that.
I mean, I'm not going to go that deep with it, so I'm just going to go the fact that I like sour cream crisps, sour cream like Pringles, sour cream, and and so that's. There's a sour cream dip, right? You can dip the crisp in and it's delicious. So I'm going, okay, what else would I dip? Guacamole. So that's delicious. So I'd have guacamole chip. Because you have sour cream chips, I have guacamole chip. Not that I think it would be as good as actually dipping it in the sauce, but just for the sake of this question. My favourite crisps are prawn cocktail.
Prawn cocktail is acceptable, but
no, I feel like I don't really need another crisp to be invented because I'm only ever going to need that one.
Yeah,
that's good because avocado crisps sound disgusting.
Guacamole. So you've got the coriander.
Jen just hears the avocado.
Lime, a little bit of tomato acidity in it. You know, you've got a whole flavour profile going on within the guacamole.
I think someone else, was it last week? Not last week. It wasn't last week. Said someone else has mentioned. Was it Camilla mentioned guacamole?
Yeah.
Was it or Jess? Jess or Camilla, I think, mentioned guacamole. Yeah.
No.
Yeah. We've got some avo lovers.
Wait, what's yours, Gem, that you would invent?
Mine.
Yeah. What would be? Where did this question originate from?
I don't know. I feel unprepared for this.
I'm going to ask you. I have this burning desire for this new crisp to be invented. So, what was the flavour that you wanted?
There wasn't one. This was literally just made to torture the guests.
Okay.
You're not supposed to be loud on me, Charlotte. That's not how the situation works.
Fair enough.
Nicely done.
You do you.
Yeah, I'll have a think. Maybe Nicole can go, and I'll have a think
And
about
I'm
it.
just going to highlight that everyone said that we'd love to have Charlotte back. So there you go.
Yes.
Will do.
So I've given this some thought. I was
Ooh.
going to put an Australian spin on it, and then I decided, like if I really wanted a chip created, something that I would like to enjoy, I think I would have to go with coffee, because then I could have coffee flavored chips for breakfast.
Oh God.
A breakfast of champions. What can I say?
Jesus.
That's niche, but it could work.
I love coffee. I love even chocolate coated coffee beans and all that sort of stuff. So I think it'd be nice.
Yeah, but I love
coffee
coffee, so it's almost like sacrilege to turn it into a crisp.
Oh well.
I think it's possible. I'll be on your side. Like anything's possible. Like
That's funny.
it's just
No, Nicole, no.
Here we go.
The thing is, I don't actually like coffee.
Oh, well, that explains it.
So, I detest the smell of it. Luckily, my husband's a tea drinker.
The smell of it.
I detest the smell of coffee. Coffee flavored anything is disgusting. Actually repugnant. So,
what about cake? What about coffee and walnut cake?
You've tried a decent flat white or something, and you're like, yeah, it's not for me.
Well, I don't like milk either. So.
Oh, now I can see. Yeah,
that explains
milk's a big part of it.
So yeah, no, just no. I'd rather have Charlotte's disgusting avocado crisps than.
Well, there you go.
There's a difference.
There is a difference.
Oh no, I was going to show you the. Jack said, "I'd try that coffee crisp. You never know. Might dip in some coffee now." Yeah, go.
As in, how you dunk a biscuit, but it's a crisp.
Yeah, exactly. You just got to think along those lines. You got to take yourself out of your comfort zone. And Ryan said, "Can we get a list of things Gemma actually likes?" She's got lots of rules. But I have said she needs to publish a book. We have, you have rules, don't you?
I have rules, but yeah, no, coffee, milk, avocado are definitely on the hate list.
There we go. And Zach said Chicago style hot dog crisp. That sounds yummy.
That's acceptable. That is an
Chicago
acceptable
style. Is it just putting mustard and ketchup on it?
Oh yeah, we had in terms of this comment, dip flavored crisps is a great idea. Kills two birds with one stone. I saw an advert for garlic bread flavored crisps the other day. We had some garlic crisps because the lovely Kerry, I don't know if you're still watching, Kerry sent me and Jem some crisps, and I got some actual garlic crisps, which they were yummy. Yeah. Moving along from the crisps, I feel like we could go on for a hot minute. We're going to go to a higher or lower game, if I can try.
Dun dun dun.
In a second, I need to try and scroll a little bit. Oh no, it's vanished. I don't know what happened. In a minute. Just keep talking amongst yourselves.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Are you? Will you be watching Clarkson's Farm season 3 or 4, whatever it is now?
Hell yes.
In May. Me too. I love it.
Love a bit of Clarkson's Farm.
I love that show. That is an awesome show.
I wonder what he's doing next.
I saw Caleb at the British Farming Awards last year.
Oh yeah, of course. Did he win an award? Or was that the one that they aired where he did win the best
presented an award?
Oh, he presented
an award.
Oh, there you go.
But yeah, so that's my little claim to fame.
I'm hoping this is the right game because it vanished and came back again. I'm hoping, technical issues. Hope this is the right one. If it starts and it says the right thing, I will know. Obviously, anyway. Oh look, yes. So the first book we've got is who wants to go for? Actually, I should have picked somebody. I'll go with Nicole first. Nicole, I'm picking on you.
Oh no. Okay.
Oh.
Cool. No worries.
Because you're top. I was just like, we'll work our way down.
Yep.
So Nicole, our first book is Homesick, and the rating is 3 points. So anyone that's watching, the premise of this is very simple. It's just higher or lower. So the idea is we've got up to 6 books, and the guests have got to try and get as many points as possible and yeah, to guess higher or lower. And what if it's if they get it incorrect, they can't progress to get the points. So anyway. So yeah, this first book we're starting with is Homesick by Jennifer Croft. It's 3.83. Nicole, what do you, the next, so the book is This Is How by MJ Highland. And do you think
anything has got to be higher than Homesick? So I'm going to go with higher.
You're going to say higher?
Yeah.
Oh,
there you go.
And she's done a Brian. She's done a Brian.
You're so mean. Brian's here and you know it, and you're still saying we will carry on with the game because even though you will get no points.
That's okay. I'm happy to be on zero.
We can see what you would have got. So if you would progress. So the next book is Song of Achilles by Madeline Miller.
Oh, that'd be higher.
Yes, it's higher. Yay! Then we've got War Crimes, which, side note, I love this cover, by Liz Jensen. War Crimes for the Home.
I'm going to go lower.
Correct! Yay! You're doing really well compared to
after the initial start.
Maybe we should have just done points.
Bit of a fizzer out of the gate.
Most well. Then we've got Caramello by Sandra Cisneros.
Higher?
Yes!
Ooh.
3.92. And these ratings are from Storygraph, anyone that is interested. The last book is Summer at Gaglow by Esther Freud. I don't think you can really see the author's name because it's cut off at the bottom.
I'm going to go higher. I have no idea. I've not even heard of it. So
3.03. That is a low rating.
That is low. That is
a harsh rating. I think anything below a 3.5 is a little bit on dodgy territory, personally. But I mean, I don't know how you guys think. But do you know what? It's not the points; it's the taking part that counts. That's what I will say. Even though Jen will say
Brian has welcomed you to his club.
Oh, there you go.
I'm happy to be here.
There you go.
Support meeting next week.
Welcome to the Anne says you're a proud member of the Brian Club. Okay. So do you know what? Yeah, I'll still give you loads. I'll give you some hearts. You might not get fireworks, but I'll give you some hearts, Nicole.
Thank you.
It's a consolation prize. Right. So Charlotte, it's your turn. Are you excited? We're starting with Birding by Rose Ruane, which obviously has got 3.68 and is currently it's on the long list for this year's Women's Prize.
Right.
Fiction. The book that it's up against is one I know you've read this one. Did you DNF it or did you read it, Charlotte?
Yes, but I'm going to say higher just because it's had a lot of people reading it, and so therefore I think it's going to be higher than 3.6, whereas Birding's just come onto the radar. Yeah. That's very close. Charlie, sneaky.
3.79. Did you DNF this one, Jem, or did you get forced to read it?
I DNF'd it, yeah.
I read it in its entirety by an audiobook, and I felt like I was at the principal's office being berated.
I was listening to the audio as well. It was very shouty.
It was like I was halfway through the book, and I'm like, I just feel like I've been berated by the principal.
Yeah,
there is some repetitive shouting bits.
Aggressive. It was aggressive.
It was very aggressive. I agree.
Oh my days. So the next book is Every Man for Himself by Beryl Bainbridge.
Lower.
You think that's going to be lower? Yes, it is lower. So again, you get some more fireworks. You've got 2 points so far. Woohoo,
what do I get if I win, by the way?
Sorry?
What do I get if I win?
Just all the praise from the plotters.
Kudos. Fireworks.
Sure.
You could get a smile from Jem. I'll offer up a smile from Jem.
Okay.
That's not something many guests get, so you know. The next, love you, Jem. The next guest is not guest. Next book is
higher.
Yeah, maybe
I recognise the author, but not the title. So
sorry?
I think higher. I recognise the author, but not the.
It is higher. To get some more fireworks. You got 3 points.
So I've only got one more. 25.
Sorry?
2 more.
I've only got to guess
2 more
on-
books. It's 6 books altogether. So up to
Okay.
5 points. But you've got 3 points so far. So the
Nice.
next book is The Paper Palace by Miranda Cowley
no.
Keller, which is a book we love.
See, I want to say higher, but you've gone green, red, green. So I also want to say that you're going to go. Sorry, you've gone green, red, green. So I feel like we were going to go red next, but then Paper Palace should be higher. I think 363 is a decent rating. So I think I'm going to go higher for Paper Palace. So I think it'd be more like 4 something. You threw me off with the colour thing.
You got 4 points so far. You've got one
The
more book.
verbal reasoning, like 11 plus in my head is going off. Like,
You've only got one more book, and then you get a full sweep and full points, which is like amazing. Has it happened so far? I don't know.
Jess got.
Jess did
Oh
it.
yeah, Jess did,
Yeah.
didn't she? Yeah, you're right. Jess last time got it. Stalking Kafka. So no pressure.
Oh yeah. No.
1,000 ships by Natalie.
Ooh.
Well, this is very popular. Would it be lower or higher? I feel like it would be higher, but we're already at 3.71. So, how close to the sun do we fly? I'm going to go lower, please, Charlie. Final offer.
It's
Close, yes.
nearly. You got 4 points though. So do you know what? That is pretty damn good. That is good.
Oh no, I should have gone for it.
Always fly close to the sun. Always fly
No.
close to the sun.
And as Anne says, it's because this is selected completely at random. As they always tease me for saying that.
Oh no.
Yeah, I will. There we go. Try and remove it. Oh my god.
Maybe next time we need like a millionaire's lifeline 50-50, phone a friend.
That's a good idea.
That's what I was thinking.
Ask the audience.
Ask the audience. We ask the audience. You don't know what will happen with our lovely plodders. Anything can happen. Yeah. So
I'd want to Google it.
Anne says I feel a Charlotte conspiracy. And Zach is doing the fireworks. Zach is lovely. Thank you, Zach. And Jack said, I would be in the Brian Club. I'm sure I get all the good crisps. Hashtag Team Brian. Why not? So, my lovely ladies, I am going to go to the next bit of this, which is really a fun bit that we've introduced this year, which is guests' questions. So, for those of you that don't know, what we do is every week, I say every week because we haven't been on for a couple of weeks, but we get our lovely our previous guests to give questions for our following week's guests. So last time, the wonderful Jess and Camilla gave us some questions, which I've got written down here, and I will tell you. And then after we've done their questions, we'll ask you for your questions for the following guests. So the wonderful Jess, we'll start with Jess, said, if you are in a situation where you're interacting with someone that despises reading, what would you recommend to them to change their minds / recommend a book? So you've got to recommend a book. The idea is with this. You can also talk about like what you would do and stuff as well.
You can go first, Charlotte.
Was the first part if they hate reading?
Yeah, so if they despise reading, what would you recommend to them to change their minds? So either you can like talk about like maybe tips and then recommend a book.
Or go to the theatre or don't like consume culture in any other way you'd like.
I think the idea was to pick a book that would like maybe help change some tips and stuff.
So hate reading. So apart from don't read, choose something else. I would say
I mean, I think that's fair, to be fair, because if you shouldn't, I do think you should, if you're not enjoying reading, you should just, for a hot minute.
I mean, reading is like just how you consume this part of culture, right? So you can do that through any way that would appeal to you. Like I watch like 5 films a year, but for someone else, they're going to be watching hundreds of films a year because they're really into movies, but I'm really not. So maybe then comic books, graphic novels. If they don't want to read, then do that. I remember there's a lot of, I don't know. I feel like if I had someone who didn't want to read, then I would be suggesting comic books and graphic novels, because I feel like it's kind of downgraded. It's like, oh, it's not really reading, but you're consuming a story in a set, like, linear way, and there's pictures and words. So I feel like, okay, if you don't want to, but then again, people who hate reading are probably doing that anyway. They're probably already seeking out visual forms of art because that's what they're going to gravitate towards. So yeah, I mean, I don't personally go in for comic books and graphic novels, but I mean, I'd probably
You don't
say
have
that.
any like favourite graphic novels that you've read and loved? No.
But probably Neil Gaiman, just because everyone seems to love him. He's like at the height of his kind of fame. So yeah, maybe that. But honestly, if someone hates reading, I'd be like, yeah, just don't read then. I mean, there's plenty of other ways to develop your thoughts and debate with people, and yeah, consume your culture in a different way.
That's a really good. Do you know what? That's a good answer. How about you, Nicole? How would you go about it?
Again, graphic novels, comics, get them engaging in. If the object is to get them reading, then yeah, go graphic novels, something like that. Maybe an audio book, or do comparison, read out loud to them, and then watch a movie. And I'm thinking like in kids.
I was just about to say, is this person a teacher? Because it sounds like something that you would like kids. Yeah. It's like, how would you get a kid involved in reading? Yeah, it sounds like that.
So that's where I sort of would go. I would do audiobook, and then maybe do a comparison of watching a film about that audiobook, so they can see that they line up and all that sort of stuff, and just engage them in that way.
Yeah.
So yeah,
just gonna highlight Jack
just said that Neil Gaiman's just got in a lot of hot water, so I retract whatever I just said.
He is very problematic. He's literally like, this is where you can tell that you've not been on BookTube for a hot minute.
I just pluck a random name. I was like, yeah, okay, we're talking about graphic novels at Neil Gaiman, but then now this.
So thank you for that, Zach. Thank you. Have you got any?
Turns out he's a douche. What can I say?
Any specific
who knew?
Have you got any specific audiobooks or graphic novels that you love, Nicole?
I really with my granddaughter, we got right into, she's not much of a reader, so I do a lot of audiobooks with her when I'm picking her up and traveling out here. It's a 3-hour trip. So we've been doing Amari and the Night Brothers. And it's such a good book, and so she really loves it. And anytime she's here, and it's actually engaged her in reading, because she's ADHD and she doesn't like doing any sort of schoolwork or anything like that. So she listens to that, and then she wants to listen to it when she's going to sleep. And then I've got the books here, so she'll pick the books up. She'll sit there and like she can read and whatnot, and she'll read along with the words. Probably not effectively, but she's still doing the act of reading, even though she's listening. So, yeah.
How old is she, Nicole?
She's about to turn 10.
Nice.
That's such
so you can read some proper books, listen to proper books, right?
I did do the reading out loud to her. I used to do videos, and she'd watch them at her place, and I would read a bedtime story to her. So that got her more into reading. And then we did the Dickens' A Christmas Carol. I read that out loud to her because I've done that with all my kids.
That's a wonderful book to read out loud.
It is. And then I sat her down, and I didn't tell her that we were going to watch the movie, and I just sat her down, and she said, she goes, hey, we just read this book. And then she got really excited about it. So
which version did you watch?
Of course, it was the Muppets one.
Oh, really? That's our favourite. You can't go wrong with
It's the best one. So, yeah. And we're planning on watching the other adaptations of it in the future. So,
that's lovely.
Nice.
That's wonderful. So we're going to head to Camilla's question, which is if there was a particular year of the Women's Prize that is there a particular year of the Women's Prize that you really enjoyed? Not just a favourite winner, but like a long list from a certain year that you really loved. If you're not sure what it is and you want to say the book, I can try and Google it. So, which of you would like to say?
I'll go first. The year that the Band of Queens was on this, I think that was 22 or 23.
I think Bandit Queens was 23, but
that's probably been. I mean, last year's was a solid list, but I think I had the most fun with 23.
Yeah, the Bandit Queens of 2023. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know, is that right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm just looking. Yes, I'm fairly certain that's right. Yeah. And so how about you, Charlotte?
For me, it was 2021. It was so I got into the Women's Prize in 2020, and then the one that came around after that, we had a shortlist where I pretty much rated the entire shortlist 5 stars. Read the whole 6 and rated them all 5-star. The shortlist was Piranesi, The Vanishing Half, Unsettled Ground by Claire Fuller, Transcendent Kingdom, Yad Yassi, and also How the One-Armed the Sister Sweeps Her House, and also Patricia Lockwood's No One Is Talking About This, who has another novel coming out in a couple of months that will be eligible for the next Booker 2025. So yeah, so that those 6 books were some of my best books from 2021, and they all came off of the Women's Prize shortlist. So and now I'm always comparing the ones that are coming out after that to that 2021 kind of like banger of a list, and they just pale in comparison, really. Because even this year I did quite well this year in terms of really enjoying 4 out of the 16 books, but not when you compare it to 6 on a shortlist, like all 6 of the shortlist. So
yeah, that was a solid year for sure.
That's like one of my favorites. I think that's definitely one of my favorite shortlists for sure. Like, that was like, faultless, like you said. Oh, that's cool. So Jamie said about in terms of the audiobook thing, Jamie said, I suggest audiobooks people a lot is something to do whilst crafting, driving, or house cleaning. That's good. And Jack's saying about the Mari books, saying that it's a brilliant series. Brian said Muppets Christmas Carol is the best. And Jennifer said, yes, 2021 was a great shortlist/long list. Right. So with you guys, have you got your questions for us? And then I will write them down here for the next following guests.
I thought about this before we came on.
Yeah, that's fine.
Something like if you were to write your own novel and it was adapted into something like fiction, non-fiction, memoir, whatever it is, who would you want to play you in that? Or like another character, like if it's your husband or whoever, who would you kind of upgrade your husband to, or something, like some sort of which actor would you
I can upgrade
for you?
How do we not know this was a thing?
Who would you want to play your kids, sort of thing? So yeah, but mainly you. Like, who would you want to play you?
Okay,
that's a good question.
That's a really good question.
That is a really good question.
The thing I thought of when I came on before, I was like, well, I'm not sure if this one someone's already said.
No.
So okay, fine. So
that's an amazing question. We love it.
I just have a backup question just in case that one. No.
Oh no, thank you. That's a brilliant question. And how about you, Nicole?
Mine's along a similar vein. If you were to write a blurb for your life, what genre would it be?
Okay, they're really good. Yeah, I was thinking about going, do I do the genre things? Okay, good. We're matching. Excellent.
Yeah.
That does it. Both of them together. That's amazing. Oh, brilliant. Those are both brilliant questions. Oh, thank you, guys. And also thank you for your answers for the other ones, and thank you for coming today. You guys we're so grateful to have you both here with us, and especially as it's, you're the other side of the world, so it's like it feels like an extra special treat.
Yes, thanks for hosting. as always. Sterling, excellent. Keep going.
Thank you everybody, the guests, for the you guys that have come along to the Plodalong today. We love you lots and lots and lots. We've got we're working out, we're ironing out who we're having up when the next
guest.
And we know when the actual plod's going to be on Monday the 21st of April on Gem's channel, but we're just sorting out some details. But yeah. So thank you everyone for coming. I'm just going to take my banner off.
And thank you very much for the invite too. It was very nice to be invited. It's the first time here.
Yeah, it's lovely to have you for your first year, Nicole. Hopefully we haven't scared you off.
No, you haven't. You haven't at all.
Excellent.
Hopefully Charlotte will now make a video and then dedicate it to the Plodalong.
Will do.
We love you. Yeah, so goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.